Hey everyone, welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. Today we are going to go attempt to collect a bunch of science in space. I put some equipment on this, pretty much every scanner we have, which isn't all that much, but it's more than nothing. We have a lot more flexibility with how many parts we can put on things now and all that. I'm going to put this mech jab on here to see if it'll actually let me do the automated ascent, because why not? I installed the Kerbal construction time mod because I was launching things really quickly, and basically I wanted to add I don't know if it's realism. I have it like this is only going to take a month for them to build this, but where is construction time? Warp to completion. Just so we can't just... Oh my god, is that 32 regular days? And yeah, I think it's like 32 regular. We might have to do some upgrades to that, because that's taking a long time. It's going to take in Kerbal space time a ridiculous amount of time. Why is it telling me days in Earth days, 24-hour days, when it really meant, well, when it should be telling me Kerbal days, which are only 6 hours long. So everything's gonna be times 4. That's good to know. Alright, so how long is it going to take to deploy? It has to wheel it out too. Well, definitely have some more contracts available, I would imagine. Fly by Minmus, yeah, we're starting to get some other stuff done. That's good news. Warp complete. Cool. Close the alarm. Before we choose anything there, fly a VIP. So what does this VIP want to do? Just a suborbital flight? Well, that seems simple enough. Might as well add that. We'll do it at some point. Ferry 2 tourists. They want to do suborbital and orbital. So one wants to just do suborbital, and one wants to do orbital. One might end up getting a little bonus of an orbital flight. I don't know if that would matter. Flyby of Minmus. We will accept that. Protective shell. What is that? I'll look into that. Think about that. Ant engine would be good to do, probably. I'm not going to worry about setting a satellite at orbit, in a synchronous orbit of... Yeah. We'll worry about that stuff later. So, vehicle assembly building rollout. I guess we'll just have to remember to be building stuff when we need to. So, it's still going to take 3 days, really? I guess it's realistic, sort of. Why is my launchpad 2? I don't know. Probably because it's at the second phase? I don't know. Alright, close the alarm, launch, Mark 1 command pod, remove Bill. Do I get to choose? Really? Okay, the add, okay. Who do we want to send? This pilot is probably good. That all looks good. That interface is a little counterintuitive, I guess, but so we'll have to try to start getting, whoa, that was wobbly. I have to start getting good about remembering to so I don't have the ability to, it doesn't do anything extra having that on board. I have MechJeb for all installed, which puts a MechJeb module on all the command modules, so I don't have to put that stupid MechJeb thing on everything, but apparently it's not that helpful. Oh, I have like crazy advanced stuff there now too. I guess because of the MechJeb. Anyway, oh, that's probably the remote tech stuff. I don't know. So we're at 50% thrust. We have everything set. Let's go. It's so much more glorious than it used to be. It's like a lot slower and more majestic. It feels like the thrust doesn't hit 100% immediately. There's a little bit of a delay built in, which I like. Let's start turning down the main engine. We are tipping the opposite direction that I would like to. I hope we don't end up going a little bit too fast. I turned these down to like 50% thrust, but there are 3 of them. I don't think it's going to be a problem though. I wanted to make sure, since we have a little bit of extra payload and stuff on this, that it had a little bit of extra oomph to get going here. Yeah, we're getting up to a pretty decent clip now. So I believe this is going to cut down, having the recovery stuff should help cut down on the construction time, because they can refurbish parts for ships that I use, and it definitely makes trying to get a working space plane a little bit more valuable, because then you just pretty much refuel the thing. It's all reusable. And full thrust. There we go. Cool beans. Seems like something exploded. I'm sure it's under control. Need some Separatrons. Those would be good to have, because everything just keeps crashing into each other when it separates. I'm not paying as much attention as I probably should be here, but definitely need to get over to 45 degrees here. This is a little bit scary, just because I feel like we did not do our gravity turn nearly early enough, because of the amount of time that it took the solid rocket boosters to go out there. But we're picking up some speed now. Still got a ways to go to orbital speeds, but have half a fuel tank here left too. Definitely need to start turning more. I'm just gonna go to 90 degrees pretty much, like just above 90. So I'm gonna push that time to apoapsis up. Slowing down. Come on, apoapsis. And it stopped losing ground. Now we're gaining ground on it. Good. Good, good, good. That's what I want to see. And we probably tip down a little bit more, because we're out of the nasty thick part of the atmosphere here. Trying to keep one eye on the fuel while I'm at this. Trying while we're kind of still low enough to use the gravity to pick up as much speed as we can. I'm going to cut the engines, the thrust down when the engine runs out, and separate, and then I'll engage the more efficient engine here. Cut thrust. Boom. Boom. Keep on going. And I think I'm gonna my standard target for this at this level of tech that we have is gonna be about 80 kilometers, because that gives me enough wiggle room that if we start falling back into the atmosphere, I have time to correct for it. Hopefully, we have about 3 minutes to go to apoapsis, so I'm gonna be mighty gentle here with my fast forwarding, because we don't have the handy dandy mech-jeb warp to time thing available right now either, so human error is definitely possible here, especially with me at the helm. I'm trying to decide at what point I want to start this burn. Probably like, it's not that much of a burn, probably say 10 seconds out from the apoapsis, because it's probably going to be like a 15 or 20 second burn. That way we can kind of distribute the time over both sides. So we'll stop at right about here, get ourselves aimed. So what are these controls? I don't even know. Prograde. Keep this thing facing pro. Oh, that's useful. We may not have full-on mech-jeb, but we have some enhancements that help. Stability assist, retro. It's all nice to have. And it'd be nice to have maneuver nodes and stuff, so I could actually time things a little bit better. So we'll start 10 seconds, let's say. Well, let's actually start now with a little bit of thrust, and then, yeah, because look at that. Let's thrust down a little bit. I don't want to be chasing my time to apoapsis, because it's just wasting fuel. do this in a reasonable fashion here. And we are nearly in orbit. I'm going to cut for a second here. Catch up. We'll hit it right at the exact top to kind of make it a circular orbit here. And... oh god, I did not hit X. I hit the control key and then it didn't go all the way down to 0. My chair, man, it's noisy. So we are in orbit. We have no solar panels, so I did put a battery in here. I am hoping to be able to transmit some stuff back at least. Not that we're in range of the Space Center right now. I don't have the ability to EVA yet. I need to go ahead and unlock that ability, but I have to upgrade my astronaut complex to do that. Now, as far as what's in here, it's just a mech jeb and battery. So I'll take that mech jeb off. I'm going to use this design again probably for something. Observe the mystery goo. That's not worth very much science. Do this. Nothing for that. What do we got here? Open the bay doors. This is not going to be as much science as I had hoped. We do have this thing, whatever this does. Orbital scan extra can't be done right now. Wonder what altitude that needs to be done from. I already did one of those. We're not going to get a lot of science out of this at all. It's disappointing. I have to start launching stuff out to Moho. I mean, not Moho, Minmus. Well, at least we can get that. This isn't going to be worth very much. Pretty much did most of this on my previous flights. Do I have any other sensors on this thing? No. So I think what we're going to have to do, I wonder if we can leave this in orbit here. I'm going to go ahead and quick save just in case this crashes. And upgrade the astronaut center. And will it allow... oh, but the upgrade is going to take time to build because of the build doohickey thing. Let's just buy the upgrade. How long is that upgrade gonna take? Facility... that's not where it is. Where is it? Tech? 63 days. Well, that's not going to do us a lick of good on this at all. I don't think there's too much we can really do here. I guess I can spend some of my time launching tourists again. It's a good way to earn money. I like that it previews landing, like interesting landing sites and stuff. Jebediah's Point. It's kind of appropriate that there is a Jebediah's Point because Jebediah is pretty dead. Go ahead and take control of this ship. So there's really nothing we can do, and this is going to earn me like 4 science for this. So that's wonderful. So I guess I'll be back in a little bit. I'm going to go return this thing back to Kerbal in a little bit. We'll do a couple orbits just to be on the safe side. I don't have any other scientific instruments I can use. It's good to know this thing works well. So in the future when we have more instruments, we'll be able to do this. And how much Delta V do I have, I wonder? Oh, I can't read any of that. Not enough. I was going to say we could try to do a flyby of the Mun, but I don't have enough. We could get into high orbit and do some stuff there. Maybe. But I don't have maneuver nodes to calculate how much fuel I would need for that. We can do an elliptical high orbit. Where's my apoapsis and periapsis? So periapsis is there. I don't know what exactly qualifies as high orbit, but let's go around. How much food did I have here? Should have like 3 days worth, so as long as we don't get too crazy, it should be alright, right? Try to salvage something from this mission. So when we hit there, we'll try to get up to, I don't know, 300,000? I don't know where like space, like high above starts. It would be very nice to accomplish something this time around. And periapsis. And go prograde. And I have no fuel counter here. I guess I can pull this up. We'll do 500,000 if it's not prohibitively expensive for fuel, because it's not going to take much to bring our periapsis back down. Let's really give it the beans here. And 5. Cool. So we'll see if we get any space, some extra science for being out here, and then we can start deorbiting. Looks like we are in good shape with food and stuff, and they can actually survive for a little while without food. Electricity might be a little bit of a problem. Well, we'll do a retrograde burn right now once we get out here. See if that's far enough to count. We want to be facing retrograde. What does the science thing say that I am? In space high over. Crew report. Yay, but I don't think I'm in range of the science center thingy. Go ahead and... Well, let's see if this does anything before we reset that, just so we don't lose our meager science. Alright. Can this... Aha! Getting some useful stuff out of this. Aha! We're going to get a decent amount of science out of this. Do need to get those EVAs done. Log. I know, like, why do you have to tell me that every single time? 6 science, that's not really that great. Can we transmit it? It's saying there's no transmitter on this vessel, but I think what it's really saying is that I'm not in contact. Because I saw the range thing. I think it really means I'm just out of range. Close that bad boy down. And reset goo. And observe the mystery goo. 15 more science? We might actually be able to afford... Well, it's 90, I think, all this stuff. Never mind. I believe it is 90 science required for all the next level of stuff, so we won't really be able to afford any of that. I take it back. Cover that. That's not bad. Maybe we'll be close. The ship is going to be worth science, I think, in and of itself, just because it's been to high orbit. Close enough to periapse. I mean, apoapse. Get that thing down to like 36-ish. It's usually my target. Alright. And is there anything else we can do from up here? We can... There's no point in doing the crew report, because there's going to be no good. I want to hold on to this section of the ship just in case we have to make any additional changes. I don't want to ditch my engines until I'm absolutely sure. Guess we did manage to salvage this mission into something useful. Alright, hitting the atmosphere. And you know what, we may as well just use up the fuel to reduce heating and stuff. I'm not really aiming for any particular place on the surface, so we might as well just use up the fuel. Wow, the gimbaling is going insane. I don't know if that's a good idea or not, because it might just drop me on a really bad trajectory. No, it seems alright. And it falls short of the Space Center, but that's fine. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. And just relax and see how things go. So, Windows is backing up my computer. That's good. This shouldn't, the keeping things prograde automatically like this should make my life. I don't know if that's because she leveled up or if that's something that came with the mech jeb. If that's because I have this mech jeb on board, we'll have to start putting mech jebs on board. I'll experiment, I think, by not putting a mech jeb on one of the tourist ships that I send up and see what happens with that. And this looks like it's all going by the book here. As long as we don't land in the mountains. I'm always concerned about landing in those mountains. Oh, is our fuel... Yeah, our electricity's... We're using some electricity trying to keep the thing stabilized, but it doesn't matter. If we run out of electricity on the way down here, we should still be able to deploy the parachute without electricity, I think. We'll probably still have electricity by the time we are to the point of deploying the parachute anyway. I wish that I like that little lander engine thing that I've been using because it's pretty efficient. I wish it generated electricity. I guess there has to be a trade-off. Not at a point like solar panels are going to be one of the next things I do because if I'm going to be doing satellites, solar panels are kind of important for that. Oh, good. It looks like we'll be hitting the ocean. I was a little bit worried about that. I spent some money on a pilot and upgrading the building, so just trying to keep an eye on that. So what do we have here? We have VIP. So we have suborbital, orbital, suborbital, orbital. I wonder if it matters if I take an orbital person, a suborbital person into orbit. It seems like it shouldn't. So it might be more efficient to do that. Alright, almost down to speed here. And at this point, I'll just meet you when we splash down because nothing exploded. And it's going to be a little while till we get down to the ground. Alright, splashdown is successful. Electric charge ran out pretty much as soon as we splashed down, too. That's funny. And how much science did we end up netting here? 120. We'll be able to unlock something. So we got 115 from that flight. Not bad, not bad. Cool. So, more money stuff. Really, no reputation from that. It wasn't a mission, I guess. That's why. So, what do we want to unlock? We have electrical stuff, which does include some crappy solar panels, but those would be better than nothing. Some probe bodies, it looks like. And like weather satellites. That would probably open up a lot of different satellites we could do. Thermal control system, better battery, different probe core, different satellite and some lights. 90 science, yeah, we'll do that. Oh, it takes 180 days. Alright, we might have to tweak some of the settings on this because honestly, that's ridiculous. Okay, what is going on here? Tech unlock times. What do we want? What is even upgrades from tech tree? It's like, Let's see. Up free sim only. What do these even mean? 7 days. Overall multiplier. A strict 7-day time limit. That seems kind of like what I might want to do. So that's reconditioning the launch pad. VAB, yeah, okay, so that's reconditioning the launch pad. Tech upgrades. Rate 1 BP. So did we unlock that technology already then? Researched. Where is it? Where would it tell me? Because under tech... No tech notes are reading research. So it must have just turned off. I'll have to look at these settings in more detail because there's kind of a lot going on here. Anyway, I think I'm going to end it here for today. We did get some stuff done. I'm feeling good about things. I'm gonna go take a look at what missions are available, run a couple of these ferrying VIP people around and whatnot, make some money. And when we come back, hopefully we'll be in a position where we can actually maybe do some of this stuff. So I'll be back. Thanks for watching.